Do that again. Breathe in, belly out. And exhale. Okay. So again, I invite you to come away from the back of the chair. You're more at the edge of your chair, sitting up here as best you can, is whatever tallness you can do today. And let's do that Atlas point rotation. So that kind of softens the muscles around the neck. You may notice some little noise that goes on here too. So we're going to take our nose and draw a circle as wide and comfortable as you can. Now, it may need to go slower. And again, you may hear some snap, crackle, pops happening when you do Atlas point rotation. In other words, the top of the spine inserts into the skull of the head. That's called the Atlas point. And then let's completely stop and then go the other way. So turn in the other direction. Y'all keep doing that Atlas point rotation. I'm trying to get my watch to work. Very good. Keep going. Ooh, I hear lots of noisy stuff going on. Some little kind of things. One more time, all the way around. Woo! And then bring it back to the center. From here, we're going to do spread the feathers. So we have the hand spread out like a little starfish. We take the hand out to the side, and then I'm going to lower it a little bit more, and then take that thumb and turn it to the back of the room. So I kind of feel that activation of that upper arm when that happens. Again, sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to take that opposite ear, drop it towards, tilt it towards the shoulder. Ooh. And again, more blood flow to the brain, open up that carotid, again, improve blood flow to the brain. And now we're going to kind of work through our range of motion again with that next shoulder business. So we're going to take the chin, turn it towards the shoulder. Notice what you notice. Again, maybe some noisy stuff going on here. And we're going to take the chin and point it to where the wall meets the ceiling. So lift the chin. Again, only if it's available for you, okay? Just because I say do something, is it okay in your body? You kind of have to be the judge of that. Then we're going to take that chin and draw a half circle or a smile with our chin. So bring it down towards your chest, nice and slow, and then towards that extended arm side and release. So holding that contraction energy in the bicep, tricep area also helps to stimulate bone growth, because if we hold it at least 30 seconds. Now try to drag it out that long. Let's do the other side. Spread out the feathers, lower the arm, turn that thumb to the back of the room. Feel that activation of that bicep, tricep, shoulder business. Yeah, the shoulder business. Take your ear, drop it towards the shoulder. Ooh, notice if it feels different. Mine feels different on this side. Kind of little stiffness going on here. And then take your chin, look towards the shoulder. Notice if you have more range of motion or not. It's okay if you do or do not, okay? And then take the chin, look where the wall meets the ceiling, lift it up. And then we're going to draw that half circle or smile with our chin. So we're going to bring the chin towards our chest, nice and slow. Woo. And then towards the extended arm side, towards where the wall meets the ceiling. And then release. Very nice. From here, let's do swimming dragon. Again, we kind of work from the top of the head down to the tips of the toes when we do the Chair Tai Chi. We're going to take the hands together. You can hook the thumbs or not, doesn't matter. And kind of lift those elbows up, sit up tall. And your opportunity to sit up tall once again. And let's breathe in, belly big. Now push hands one direction, turn your head the other direction. Notice your natural range of motion here. And then breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center, belly button drawn tight. Stay here, breathe in, belly big. And let's exhale, push it the other way. Ooh, I'm turning a little bit more on this other way. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale back to the center. Let's do one more each side. First, we breathe in, belly big. Range of motion, maybe noticing next pain. Exhale, push it away. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale back to the center. Staying here, breathing in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Staying here, inhale. And exhale back to the center. Let's do what's called a finishing breath in Tai Chi. So we inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And instead of Going back on down, like the arms came up, you bring here to the center as if your hands were on top of the ball, and you're pulling the energy from the universe back on down from the heaven down to your dantian. That's about 2 inches below your navel center. It's a collection center for collecting energy and then going through the different meridians in the body. We really don't cover that in this short class, but there's more opportunity to learn more about those kind of energy systems. Let's do that finishing breath again. So inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then exhale, bring it down. Nice. From here, let's shake the arms out to kind of a letter V instead of like in front. We're kind of at an angle here. So shake them up. It's called Wild Goose Flutter. So it brings energy into the wrist, into the arms, into those fingers. And then let's turn to the side a little bit. Turn your head too if you can. A couple of times here. And then let's bring it back to the center. Let's go over to the other side. So flutter it up. And then back to the center. Now this time, let's go straight out to the side. I can't go as high up, straight out to the side, but keep here at letter T. And then turn the palms up. Let's do that kind of flapping of the wrists here for that carpal tunnel. Very good. And then bring the arms down. Just kind of shake it down. From here, we're going to cup the hands and swing the arms. Woo! So that warms up those joints in the shoulders. Also kind of gets a little bend in the elbows. If you can, tap the tops of the shoulders and an extra little bend in the elbows. So love it. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Just kind of let the arms dangle there. And then let's bring it in front of you and spin those wrists. But it gets a little air here on my neck. Again, kind of loosens those joints in the wrists. Good for that carpal tunnel. And then let's pause and then reverse it. Very good. It's like, my left hand does not do as well as my right when I go in that second direction. That's what I notice. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Clap the hands. Woo. Clap them again. And then get some heat into those thumb pads. So rub, rub, rub. And then move it into the fingers to increase circulation into those fingers. Help kind of, I don't know, ease that achiness of maybe arthritis. And then we'll do a little upper body Qigong detoxing with these warm hands. Warm them up, warm them up. We're going to cup the hand and tap, tap, tap on the outside of the arm. So here we go. We're going to tap it up. Get to that shoulder. Again, it's not hard, okay? It's just kind of a light little pat tap. And then we're going to raise our arm up, go to the armpit to get those lymphatic nodes there in the armpit and the pectorals a little bit, and bring it down the side body, down below the hip bone, and bring it up the center. I do a little fist when I come up the center, and I'm going to thump my thymus here for increasing T-cell immunity. And then I'm going to switch it over here to the shoulder. I'm going to do a palm up and bring it down the inside of the arm. Here we go. Clap. And then just kind of wipe off that kind of excess, kind of itchy energy, as I like to call it. Let's do that again. Clap the hands and get some heat. We're going to do the other side. So again, we're kind of moving lymphatic fluids with this tapping. Also opening up different meridians, energy systems. And sometimes folks get a little emotional because it's like, whoa, what did we do in that Chair Tai Chi class? And maybe you got some stuck energy and you let it loose. It's kind of normal. Here we go. Tap, tap, tap. Oh, I'm going to stay here. Can I stay here at the shoulder forever? No. Okay. Raise an arm. Go to the armpit. Be a little bit less vigorous. If it's spicy, break it on down. Below the hip bone. And I do a fist when I come up the center. I got a pacemaker, so I got to be careful. I'm going to thump my thymus. And then move it to my shoulder. Ooh, there we go. I kind of do it a little bit more on my shoulder, just to let you know, okay? And then palm up, bring it on down. Woo! Rub off that kind of excess energy. Very good. Again, rub those hands. Wonderful. And then from here, let's do a finishing breath. Let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down fists. Because what we're going to do is eagle claw. We're going to inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high, reach. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the hand. Spread them out like that starfish. Exhale, press it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Exhale, out to the side. So what we do here is we open and close the palm 5 times. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Other side. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. When you coordinate breath with movement, it lowers the cortisol, the stress hormone. Inhale, back to the chest. Open up the palm. Exhale, press it forward. Inhale, back to your chest. Turn the head to the side. Exhale, press it out. Here we go. Open, close 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that again. Inhale, other fist to chest. This time really reach, sky high, reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up the palm. Exhale, press it forward. Inhaling back to the chest. Turn the head to the side. Exhale, press it outward. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the center. Last time, increasing mobility. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high, reach. Inhale, back to your chest. Open up that palm. Spread out those fingers. Also good for trigger finger. Exhale, press it forward. Inhaling back to your chest. Turn your head to the side. Exhale, press it out. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to the waist. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Let's get a little foot action going on here. So we're going to take my foot out to the side. You know, I'm going to do the other one first because I got that name in the way. Woo! Does the calf feel a little tight? Invite the toes towards you. You might feel a little kind of constriction going on there. And point the toes away. And then we're going to point and flex. So we're trying to get that calf pump going, return blood flow from the lower parts of the body back to the heart. Also helps to prevent foot cramps, improve ankle flexibility. And of course, you know, the calf is considered to be the second heart in traditional Chinese medicine. So again, more blood flow to the heart, lowering that glucose also, that blood glucose. So all good benefits with calf pumps, okay? Especially important to do that on long car drives, airplane rides, that kind of thing. And bring it in. Let's do the other side. So get that leg out to the side. And again, toes towards you, heel pushed away. Sit up tall. I'm going to bring the other leg out a little bit. And then point your toes away. See, can I get? No, you can't see it. Okay. It is what it is. And then let's get that pumping action going on here. Point and flex that foot. Ooh, feels a little tight here. Getting that lowering of the blood glucose. I just ate me a really fast peanut butter and jelly sandwich before I taught class because I taught class before and I was like hangry. I needed something to eat right off the bat. And I was like, inhale that peanut butter. Okay, I did. You ever done that? It was like, down it went. It was like, yes. Perfect. All right, and then bring it in. Lovely. Let's kind of stomp those feet and shake the legs. I'm up on the balls of the feet when I shake my legs. And again, stomp the feet and shake the legs. I love it. From here, I'm going to scoop my booty back just a little bit. We're going to do some point and flex again. You can either interlace here on your shin or back behind your knee pit. I'm going to do my shin today. And I'm leaning back. So, you know, this is kind of what I'm looking like. I'm leaning back a little bit. So I'm not quite to the back of my chair, but I'm not at the tip of my chair. And let's point and flex again. If you have your hands interlaced on the shin, it's going to feel weird because like, ooh, I can feel that shin muscle. That's kind of a weird thing. Okay, well, that's my opinion, of course. And then make it pause. And then you're going to look at your foot and you're going to turn it inward, like the tiniest circle you can manage. So we're, again, fine motor skills. I can't quite do this very well. It's like very jaggedy. And then make it like a medium circle and then go to a big circle. You might feel snap, crackle, pops. Again, getting a lot of articulation of that ankle area, which is good for being able to walk better. And then make it still. Now, what we're going to do next is look at your foot again and then make the circle go outwards. The tiniest circle, okay? And then make it medium. Ooh. And then bigger. Okay. And the biggest. And release. Again, shake them, stomp them, shake them. We got to do the other side. Again, decide, are you going to interlace or are you going to do hands behind the knee and then point and flex? Maybe you're going slower, and that's okay too. And then pause, and then look at your foot. We're going to draw inward the tiniest circle you can manage. Notice which one feels a little bit easier to do. Who knows? And medium size, and then the biggest size. And then we're going to make everything stop, and you're looking at it again. You're going to turn the circle outward. Again, tiny, tiny, tiny if you can. And then a little bit bigger. Oof. And bigger than that. And then the biggest that you can do. Nice. And then bring it down. Woo! We're going to extend a leg out, point the toes softly, and then have a hand on the leg, hand on the hand. Inhale, arm up. This is called monkey stretch. Exhale, lower. Bring it in. Let's do the other side. Bring that leg out, point softly away, hand on the leg, hand on the hand. Inhaling up. Try not to arch your back too much. And then exhale, lower. Bring it in. Let's do the other side. And once again, land on that heel, point the toe away, hand on the leg, hand on the hand. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. And bring it in. Last time, bring that heel out, point that toe away. Here we go. Hand on the leg, hand on the hand. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. Bring it in. Excellent. Let's do the finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Now this time we're going to do cupped hands and bring them here at our chest level. We're going to do, it's called spinal cord breathing. It's also a variation of yoga where we do cat-cow. So with the cupped hands here in front of our collarbone, let's inhale, elbows up, belly forward. And then as you exhale, you curve the spine to the back of the chair. Maybe drop the forehead close to the fists. And then slowly come out of that pelvic tilt. Inhale, elbows up, 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 up. Spinal cord breathing. Exhale. Extension and flexion of the spine, just like we do in cat-cow. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Now let's turn to the side a little bit and do this. So turn to the side, elbows up. Kind of get into those ribs a little different. Exhale, back to the center. Over to the other side. Here we go. Inhaling up. Exhale, lower. Let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring the hands down the heart center for blood pressure equalizing technique. So back the hands come down. And then you bring the arms out to the side. You take the thumbs into your palms, fingers on the thumbs, and then you're stimulating the heart and the pericardium meridian. And you inhale, elbows back, chest forward, squeeze the back muscles. And then release. You turn the arms out to the side. So again, you activate the heart meridian when you're doing that. So exhaling and inhale back on up. We'll do this a couple of times, whether it's high or low. This is your equalizer. Grab your thumbs. Here we go. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale, arms out to the side. Turn those elbows out, so to speak. And then inhale, up, up, up. Helps to balance that blood pressure. Exhale, bring it on down. Once it gets down there, grab your thumbs, fingers in the palms. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Exhale, arms out to the side. One more time. Here we go. Breathe in and bring it on down. And grab those thumbs. Here we go. Elbows back, chest forward. And exhale, finishing breath. And bring it on down. Or inhale, exhale, bring it on down. I think we exhaled twice in a row. That's not possible. Let's scoot back in our chair and do our knee strengtheners. So one of the things I have noticed when I get in and out of the shower, when I lead with my my right foot and then my left foot follows. Before I was doing knee strengtheners, I would always notice this kind of like, kind of catchy kind of knee pain and hip pain. But since we've been doing knee strengtheners in our Chair Tai Chi, that's not happening anymore. And I hope y'all are noticing some little subtle things too, okay? So we're going to start with the other side today. So we're going to show me the bottom of your foot. So you bring that leg, and you may have to lift the leg to make it feel comfortable on the chair, and we're scooched back. Okay, remember that, all right? And then we lower. So it strengthens all this stuff around the knee musculature, okay? Now we're gonna lift the leg and point the toes and release. Now, typically we hover. I didn't mention that, but I'll mention that on the other side. So here we go. Lift the foot. And again, if you need to lift the leg, I always do. And again, it's a little flex of the heel and toes towards you. Might be feeling some stuff up the leg, yeah? And then we lower and we hover. You don't touch the floor if you can. And then point the toes and release. So now we're going to add on the brain work, a little bit of sneaky core work to this one. It's a little stuff we add on. Okay, start with the original side. Flex that foot. Take your opposite hand, flex the wrists. Woo. So upper, lower body, left and right, working in different kind of areas of the body, different areas of the brain. Lower, hover, and then point the toe, point the fingers, zip up your abdominals, and do that weird straight arm basketball dribble, also known as maybe a little bit of chair Pilates, the 100, a little bit, and release. So we're holding that position in that knee strengthening muscular position when we're doing that little basketball dribble to also stimulate bone growth. So we got some bone building benefits going on here too. Other side, here we go. Flex foot, flex the palm. Okay, we all got that figured out. Yeah. And then lower hover. And then point the toe, point the fingers, zip up the abdominals. Here we go, straight arm, and do that weird basketball dribble. You may feel it up your center of your core. You may feel it up your back muscles. And I'm talking, and we're holding it, but not the breath, okay? And release. Woo! We got one more set, just one more, okay? So we flex the foot, and we flex both hands, a double stop, and then lower, hover, and point the toe, point the fingers. Now you alternate up and downs with the arms. And then to make it a true 100, you do them at the same time. You don't have to do them fast, okay? And release. Woo! Other side, yay, last time. Flex the foot, flex both hands. Here we go. Oh boy. And then lower. Point the toe, point the fingers, get that little swimming, straight arm swimming, basketball dribble, weird stuff. And then at the same time, oh my. And release. Wow. Come away from the back of the chair. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring down that energy from the universe back down to the Dantian. But before we move on, clap your hands, get some heat. Sometimes sitting back there in the chair, extending the legs like that, it's kind of like, wow, my behind, my core is working a little bit. So take your hot hands and rub the back side of your lower back, wherever you can reach. Maybe you do the back of the hands. You can also use the back of the hands. It sometimes allows you to go a little bit higher. And then get the side, and then bring it down the side of the legs, the inside of the legs. Get the shin, the calf, the other one, if you're allowed to hinge forward, that is. And then once again, clap the hands. Little heat here. Let's do heat on the knees. Now you're not pressing down hard. It's nice and soft. And then if you can, come up on the pads of the finger, kind of like little cat claws, almost ticklish. And then go in the other direction, stimulating those acupressure points. I love it. Very good. And then again, one side of the legs, get the underside, the top side, underside, the top side. Stop those feet and bring those feet together. Again, we're away from the back of the chair. Let's do the jitterbug. So basically, you're going to heel toe over to the side, glue in the inside of the feet. And then maybe your upper body, you can twist or not, depending on your chair, right? Come back. Again, lots of ankle articulation and a little brain work here. Upper body, lower body, doing different things. It's good. It's good. Getting all that brain fired up. And let's return back to the center. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. Heels out, toes in, kind of like a I don't know what this is, pigeon-toed, or I don't know, opposite of pigeon-toed, but we're going to independently walk them out. And this is where you might notice, my left one's more strong than my right one, or vice versa. Again, notice what you notice. One more, all the way out, if you can stand it, okay? Here we go. Very nice. Whoo! Stomp those feet. Shake those legs. And let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Big O breath. Exhale, bring it on down. From here, let's imagine there's this ball in between our hands. We've got an air ball. And we start this kind of horizontal circulation. And then we kind of reach and turn while we do this too. It's called tornado. And then we're going to bring it up. You might notice various places in your abdominal area getting activated. Then you bring it up here at head level. Now, if it's available, bring it back behind you. It's kind of a boat pose in yoga. Lots of core activation. Lots of heat building up. And then let's pause awkwardly, of course, and go the other direction. Bring it back behind you if you can. This is also when we do Chair Tai Chi, Ball Qigong. This is a variation of Stars Around the World. I'll probably do that for the 3,000-hour class. You'll grab a stuffed toy or a ball to do that one. And then bring it on down. Yay, bring it on down. Again, you're kind of reaching. Oh, Louise's got a ball. Okay, all right. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. So that was our horizontal circulation. So from here, let's continue that. Let's wipe it in, wipe it in. So my feet are a little wide here. Y'all know this probably as wax on, wax off. If your shoulders are complaining, maybe make your circles a little bit smaller or go a little bit slower, or redirect your attention to your breath. Listen to the breath going in through the nostril tips and then slowly out. Let's pause this. In other words, stop, and then let's wipe it out. So imagine you're wiping to the corners of your coffee table here. You're just kind of reaching to where you don't want to get out of your seat, but you are like shifting your body weight over one side versus the other. One side may be quite smooth, the other one maybe not as much, and it's okay. Now let's do the windows. Okay, so we're wiping the windows, the outside windows, checking for spider webs, all that good stuff. Hello, shoulders. And then we're going to, again, pause and think about wiping in. And it takes a little bit to get that kind of that pattern down, that groove down. I love it. So again, wax on, wax off. And let's bring it back on top where you're bringing it in, wiping it in. Very good. And make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. So that was for your brain. It's also, again, shoulders, elbows, a little bit of the hips going on there. So we work all the joints, all the muscles, head to toe in our Chair Tai Chi class. Yeah, and people get surprised. Wow, okay, my heart rate really went up, or, I kind of feel really good after that. You notice what you notice, right? And then from here, we're going to do, sometimes we do this in chair yoga. It's called slide. So I'm going to bring my feet in a little bit. I'm going to slide it out to the side. Or snow angels, I guess, yeah? But in Tai Chi, we call it sumo stomp because there's a ball there and we got to bring our leg up and over the ball. So again, we're working that hip bone musculature. Might be spicy. If you want to go beyond your normal range of motion, hand underneath and kind of bring it up a little bit. If you want to add a little bone building benefit to it, BBB, release the foot, bring it high and release. Now, if you've got spicy plantar fasciitis or maybe brittle bones, maybe this isn't your thing, okay? So maybe you're just going to soft landing, and that works too. Again, we're kind of making sure we're working those joints, working those muscles, because if you rest, you're going to rest, and then you won't want to move, all right? So there's a subtle pattern of aging that happens, and you don't notice it until you go, ooh, I can't go up the stairs like I used to, or ooh, I can't get up off that low toilet in the rest stop. Again, you got to keep it moving, okay? One more. And then, we got to do the other side. So let's slide it out. And sometimes you can feel a little hip pop, little snap, crackle pop, little crepitus, yeah. And again, there's that imaginary ball, and we're hopping. Try to do it without your hand. See what you can do on your own if it's available, yeah. Then add a little height to it, a little range of motion, maybe drop the foot to get that, again, bone building benefit, that BBB. I like it when my words start with the same letter, then I can say BBB. There you go. When you come to my class, you hear this stuff over and over, and you go, oh my gosh, there she goes again. Oh yeah, okay. Of course. They say it takes 7 times to hear something to actually hear it. So if this is your 7th class, you're probably finally hearing it, right? But some of y'all have been here for a long time. One more, actually one more. And then the final one more. Woo! Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And bring open palms down to your waist. And we're going to do swallow flies to the nest. So with a flat left palm, I'm going to bring my feet a little bit apart here, sitting up tall, edge of the chair. I'm going to inhale, bring it across. Woo! Exhale out to the side. I'm going to hang on to my leg with the other hand. Inhale up and over. This is lateral flexion in yoga. And then exhale, bring it down here across in front of you. And then bring it back to the center. Now we got to do the other side. So inhale, bring it across. Feel that stretch in those rib muscles. Exhale out to the side. Inhaling up and over. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale. Now we're going to add the poem to it. So here we go. Swallow flies east. Breathe in. Swallow flies west. Breathe out. Swallow flies up and over as you inhale. And exhaling, lands in its nest. And then bring it back to the center. Other side. Swallow flies east. Doesn't know directions. And swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. And lands in its nest. Let's do that again. Inhaling, swallow flies east. Exhaling, swallow flies west. Inhaling, swallow flies up and over. And exhale, lands in its nest. Last time. Inhale, swallow flies east. Exhaling, swallow flies west. Inhaling up and over. And exhale, lands in its nest. Finishing breath, here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, bring it on down. Lovely. From here, walk forward and back. Again, getting some motion into the knees, a little motion into the hips, a little coordination. And then, just kind of add whatever kind of arms naturally go with that. It's called cross crawl. So again, upper, lower body, opposites kind of moving together and separately, yeah? And then you bring it back to the chair. And then you think, okay, start with the other leg first. I don't remember which one that is. Oh, well, just keep it moving. Sometimes we do remember which leg we go first, and then we do the other leg. Or maybe we do the same leg going first. It's okay, either way, okay? Now we're going to switch this. Y'all going to hate me. Bring it back to the chair. Boom, boom. All right, sitting up nice and tall. Now, again, that little imaginary ball, kind of, sort of, what we're going to do is bring it down and under, sort of trying to bring the hands down. It's kind of like a figure 8. So again, this may be not your thing. It's okay if it is not. And in fact, let's keep the feet on the ground and still do that figure 8. Down, dip into the side. Get into that rib musculature. And then we're going to pause and go the other way. Burping might be happening because air bubbles might be escaping or other things. We're not going to mention the other things right now, although I just did. And then bring it back to the center. From here, sweep and reach. So basically, arms up and arms up to the other side. So sweep and reach. Now, if this makes you dizzy, have your head look forward instead of following the hands. Hello, tired arms. And then let's make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. From here, palms down, and then have one palm facing the wall, and the other palm is down with the fingers down. This is called swimming in the koi pond. So basically, you're going to take the hand that's pointed down and drag it across. Have the other hand follow, like you're drawing a trail in the water. Then you switch, palm towards the wall, palm down, and then you drag it across. Returning from the koi. Hand down, and bring it across. Hand facing the wall, hand facing the floor, bring it across. Now we're going to add on to this. So we're going to keep that hand facing the wall, and with the other hand, the palm is facing you, and you're going to swim your fish across. This might feel weird. Again, palm towards the wall, palm facing you, and swim your fish. Now my fish on the left side doesn't wiggle too good. And repeat. So we're trying to have the hands match. It may not happen. So just kind of notice what your flexibility or your wiggle ability is. Does that make sense? So my right hand, which is my dominant hand, is pretty good, but my left hand is like super stiff. It doesn't have the same kind of movement pattern as my right. That's what I notice on me. And I have folks tell me that this is true for their non-dominant hand. Maybe eventually it works out, but it takes a little practice. And it's okay, all right? Well, now I got weird things going on. One more time across. Oh my gosh. And then one more time with the other side. Okay. I love it. Beautiful. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Bring down the chi. Now from here, I'm going to lean a little forward. Now, when we do standing Qigong or Tai Chi, we have something where we do knocking the gates of life. We have a place in the back side of the body that corresponds to the Dantian. It's called a Yin Yang. It's called different things in different traditions. But basically, we're kind of slapping the front and the back. Sometimes you hit the chair because you're not scooched forward enough, okay? So be mindful of your chairs. So again, we're knocking on the door of life, the gate of life. We bring it up to the waist. So we're stimulating the colon, ascending colon, the gallbladder, the liver, the kidneys, and then bring it up as best you can. The liver, let's see, not the liver, the lungs, the heart, and then bring it down to the waistline. Bring it down to the booty line. And then come back to the center. From here, take your hands in, pat your stomach. This is considered to be your second brain of your body. You can wiggle, jiggle up and down. You can tap. You can go in a clockwise manner where you go from the top to the left in order to also aid digestion and elimination. And then we bring our feet out a little bit where the leg enters into the torso. We've got that little crease, inguinal crease. So men and women, say uterine, ovarian, prostate cancer. This is the area that cancer escapes to. So we're going to chop the quad to help lymphatic fluids flow, all right? We already did the upper body. So now we're moving into the lower body, and we'll do the upper body in one more place before we end the lymphatic tapping. Now, bring your feet more towards the front of the room, and we're going to take the kind of the little arch of the hand and tap the back of the knee or rub the back of the knee. That's for lessening edema, swelling in the feet. Also, again, help with lymphatic flow. Bottom of the hamstrings, top of the calves, in that little bend at the back of the knee. Now to make the stuff from the lower body go back up, you got to go back to the collarbone, which we didn't do. We did the little shoulder shuffle, but we're going to tap, tap, tap across the shoulders, above and below the collarbone. Because the shoulders are back behind us, yeah? Yeah. And kind of dig across. If you kind of curve your body forward, you find where that bone is above and below. That's where you're tapping. That's where you rub scrubbing. All right, let's do the other side. And again, I'm going to curve my thing. Okay, I found my bone. All right, so now I'm going to tap and rub. Got the hiccups. Step a little bit taller here. And then we're going to aid for the lymphatic waste. I think I mentioned that before we started class. The cerebral spinal fluid. So you spread out your hands, you bring them in front and in back of the ears, and you can go down the jawline and then alternate down the neckline. So again, moving lymphatic fluid. Let's do the other side. Spread them out in front and in back of the ear. Very good. Woo! Clap the hands. Get some heat going on here. All right, so we're going to do finger scraping today. So you're going to pinch your finger and your thumb and rub down the side of the thumbs. So that's for soothing sore throats, chest tightness, shortness of breath. It's the lung meridian, all right? Now we're going to go down the index finger, which is the large intestine meridian. So this aids in digestion, relieving bloating or irregular bowel movements. Oh, needed to know that, right? And, aiding the digestive system. Let's go down the middle finger, which is the pericardium. So this is for calming the heart. What else? Ease anxiety, improve sleep, and becoming more, being able to sleep better. Lessening insomnia, I guess you call that. And then the ring finger is the triple burner meridian. So here we go, down the sides of the hands, releasing tension, alleviating headaches and shoulder pain. So I like this one. So scrub down the sides of that ring finger. And then the little finger, it's 2 meridians. It's the heart and the small intestine. So here we go. This helps to promote relaxation, calms the mind, breath, and emotional issues, eases palpitations. Wish I'd known that during my AFib days, yeah. And then clap the hands. Rub, rub, rub. We can do the other side. Ooh, get some heat. All right, go down the sides of the thumbs. Again, that's the lung meridian. And you can be sitting here watching TV or whatever you're doing, right? Do this for about a minute each. Switch over to the other hand. Try to do this daily if you can. Something you can do, additionally. All right, let's do the index finger. That's the large intestine. So down the sides. And if you have spicy finger joints, you're going to notice this. And, you probably need this a little bit. Yeah, maybe. Let's go down that middle finger for the pericardium. So here we go, down the sides. Calming that heart. Easing that anxiety. Love it. Let's go to the ring finger, that triple burner meridian, and releasing tension. Ooh, little snap, crackle, pop going on there too. Lessening headaches, that shoulder pain. And let's go to the pinky. Here we go. 2 meridians on this one, the heart and the small intestine. Again, promoting relaxation, calming the mind, easing anxiety, emotional issues, that kind of thing. All right, very good. Rub the hands. Let me come a little closer on this next part because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. We're going to further stretch. Can't talk today. What else is new? You can see my hand. Okay, very good. So what we're going to do here is rest your hand on your leg and then take the pad of your index finger and then lift at the first joint of the thumb. So lift up. You may or may not notice anything going on here, and it's okay either way. But again, be kind, be sweet. Don't go too vigorous, all right? And then let's go to the base. Let's go to that first joint of the index finger and lift up with the pad of the other finger. You may start to notice some stuff. It may be just like, okay, I'm doing this, yeah. All right, let's move it to the middle finger. Here we go. Ooh, okay. That's usually where I feel it, is that middle finger. I think I actually stubbed the middle finger on my left hand when I was doing some of my Korean martial arts. So, it's taken a while for it to kind of get back to its normal, whatever normal is. And then move it to the ring. Here we go. Ooh, again, that first joint, that's where you place the pad of the finger. And let's go to the pinky. So the pinky, if you let it relax a little bit, sometimes it goes a little way up high, way up stretchy, way up stretchy. And release again. Rub a little bit here, get a little bit of heat, a little bit of circulation. Love it. Okay, place it down on the other leg. All right, so again, pad of the finger, lifting up on that first knuckle of the thumb. I always feel like the thumb doesn't do much here. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't feel like it's doing what the fingers do to me. That's just my opinion though. And then again, let's go to the index finger, lift it up. Notice what you notice. Now you're comparing this side versus the other side. How does this feel on this side of the body compared, to the first set that we did? Does it feel different? Maybe it does, maybe it does not. Go to that ring finger. Here we go. Nice and gentle. That one's, again, this one feels more stiff than the other fingers to me. And maybe that's just because of our tendons, our ligaments that are going on here. All right, go to the ring finger. Here we go. Woo! Again, if you feel spicy stuff in a yoga posture, in a Tai Chi posture, return your attention to the tip of your nostrils. Listen to the breath going in. So let's listen. And then listen to the breath as it exits through the nostril tips. Try to drag it out a little bit. Let's go to the pinky. Okay. We stayed too long at the ring finger. Breathe in. Nice and slow. Slowly exhale. Listen to the breath. Very nice. Very nice. And you know what? Let's end this with our finger pressed down. So we press down. Now you kind of make a little round O, not a flat, but a round O. Press down and up, and then move it to the next finger. So we're doing down and ups at the pads. If you've got the long fingernails, you're going to have to navigate that a little bit, okay? So we're doing the downs and ups, press down and up. And then we're going to move this into finger flicking. And that's where folks generally go, ooh, maybe one finger feels a little different than the other. So we kind of turn the hands out, thumb on top of the index finger, and you flick. It makes a little sound when you flick. Maybe yours is super soft. I don't know. Wish I could flick my toes. How would I do that? Well, I guess I wouldn't. Then we're going to scoot away from the back of the chair and do what's called the water pump. It's another lymphatic drainage. So I take my hand and I curve it over the side of the leg, and I put my fingers on top of the fingers. And my thumb's doing freestyle, but basically you lift that flexed wrist up and down. So again, that kind of underside, doing a little lymphatic drainage here. It's called the water pump. And again, you might feel snap, crackle, pops when this happens. Let's do the other side, and then curve it down, hand on the fingers, get it nice and firm, and then lift up. So this one's snapped a little bit, snap, crackle, popped. Very good. Very nice. Okay, scoot back a little bit and let's just kind of get relaxed. Now, maybe you cross at your ankles, knees apart. Maybe you have your feet wide. Maybe you go to the couch or some place a little bit more comfortable, but kind of get a little bit more relaxed. Let's shrug the shoulders up and down and then just kind of settle it down a little bit. And rest your palms up, hands on your belly, hands on your chest. I'm going to do palms up today. And then in gratitude just showing up today, let's just take the chin and look down at the floor or softly close the eyes. You get to choose here. And then from here, let's listen to the breath once again. Breathe in through the nose. The chest, the belly rises, and then exhale. Again, breathe in and exhale. Now, at Governor's Vessel number 20, it's called the Beckway. It's at the crown of the head, where that little swirl happens at the top of the head. Imagine there's a little hole opening up, and through that hole, we're inviting that warm sunshine to come all the way from the top of the head, saturating every cell of the body, going down the head to the chin, to the neck, to the throat, to the collarbone. It's going down the left and the right arm, all that healing sensation. Then it's moving from the collarbone down the chest, down the pelvis, down to the groin. It's going off to the right, it's going off to the left, all the way down to the tips of the toes. Bring in the light, bring in the healing, saturating every cell in the body, every ligament, every bone, every layer of skin. If you've got an area that's a little bit spicy, maybe you're bringing a little extra light, a little extra healing to that area. Imagine as if it were already true. Bring in the light, bring in the healing. Good. From here, flutter those eyes open. Then I invite you to come away from the back of the chair. The knees are wide, hands on the legs, and let's start those wide upper body circles. It also kind of goes in the pelvis a little bit when we do this. And my chair's going to squeak. Well, maybe it's not. Okay. And then let's pause and then go the other direction. So here we go. Again, you're going as best you can with what you got today. And then come up to a tall place. We're going to hinge forward a little bit. Let's take an opposite shoulder, turn it towards the opposite knee, lay the hands on the leg, and then maybe you can bend the elbow a little bit to go a little bit deeper. Again, staying away from the spice, but feeling a little kind of traction stretch going on here. And then bring it back to the center, back kind of going back to the center place. And then hinge forward again. We're going to take the other shoulder towards the other knee, place the hands on that leg, and then maybe bend the elbow a little bit more to kind of go a little deeper. Now, it doesn't have to be too much, okay? Just a little bit to where you're feeling some kind of held stretch, all right? And then come back on up, back to the center. We're going to go back to two of our postures that we did at the very beginning. So first is going to be the Atlas point rotation. So again, take that nose and start that circle. Notice what you notice. Does it feel different from when we did this at the beginning of class? Maybe it's the same range of motion, but maybe there's less kind of noise going on. Maybe there's more noise going on. I don't know. And then completely pause, and then let's go in the other direction. Sometimes the other direction is the clue. Very good. Then come back to the center. Let's do swimming dragon. So our hands were together, sitting up tall, and then inhale, belly big. Exhale, push it away, turn the head, and then bring it back to the center. Okay, let's inhale again, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it the other way. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up. And then bring down the finishing breath. Then we're going to do the energy egg smoother. So we're going to do flexed wrists. So we're going to inhale up to about like a letter V and then turn the palms down, exhaling. So we're smoothing out the energy. Once it gets down here below our hips, turn the palms up, flex those wrists, inhaling up, up, up. And then turn the palms down, exhale, lower. Activating, again, lots of pericardium, heart meridian when we do this. Again, once again, breathe in. Wrist goes down. Then we're going to do 3 finishing breaths. So kind of shake out those hands a little bit. There may have been some built up tension there. And just a little circle, sweep arms up. And bring down the energy from the universe back down to the dantian. And once again, inhaling, circle, sweep arms up. Exhale, bring it on down. Listen to that breath in the nose one more time. Inhaling up, up, up. This time, let's bring the hands to heart center. You can do hands together or hands stacked at your heart center. And we'll go into our gratitude practice. So I invite you to drop your chin a little bit towards your chest in gratitude of just showing up today. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or maybe an idea of gratitude, and you're going to grab it, clasp it, place it into your heart space. And I appreciate y'all's dedication, discipline, determination, and your responsibility for signing up for a class, for coming to class, or maybe watching a recorded class for your journey of self-help. So I congratulate you. I applaud you. All right. From here, let's lift our eyes and let's end our class as we started it. We'll do that right fist, that's the sun. And then that flat left palm, that's the moon. And then we bow down to one another to honor one another in our Chair Tai Chi class. This concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. So now I'm going to stop